much, guys, for joining me for day 5 of our campaign trail on the interpretation of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. That was the constitution that the Yoruba nation enacted into law in 1952 to guide how we'll govern our nation and provide for our people. This constitution was first amended in 1963. What this means is that for us to have had a constitution, it means that at one point in time, we are an independent nation. Before the English colonial Turks came into our body politics in 1851, Yoruba was a country. Yoruba land was a country. When the English colonial Turks left first in 1951 under the Serf rule, we became an independent region. Then in 1960, when the English colonial Turks eventually left the shore of what is today described as Nigeria, we were still an independent nation called Western Nigeria. Because we are an independent nation, that was why we had a written constitution, which was called the Constitution of Western Nigeria. Now, you guys will expect me to go ahead with chapter 3 of this constitution because we ended for the last 4 days. We addressed the 2 chapters, the first chapter and the second chapter. So I was supposed to now speak on chapter 3, which is executive power. That is when you will see the responsibility of the office of the premier, which we now call Prime Minister. But there is an ongoing debate about the October 1st rally. I will use that opportunity of this debate to address the issue around the October 1st rally. The rally is being organized by the Yoruba liberals, and I will identify them to you this evening so that you will know for sure who are these liberals. But let me say one fundamental thing. There are too many half Yoruba in Yoruba land who are occupying prominent political roles in our land. Among them are people like Obasanjo, people like Pastor Tunde Bakari, people like Benga Daniel, people like Mimiko, people like Femi Fani Kayode, and others that are married to non-Yoruba who are so confused about their support for the Yoruba nation. People like Yinka Odumakin, people like Bode George. Many of these people that I've mentioned are either half Yoruba or married to non-Yoruba people. They are occupying prominent position in Yoruba land. That is why the Yoruba nation is facing a difficult task of speaking with one voice. When you have too many bastards, your civilization might be eroded. So you agree with me that only a stupid man will undermine the greatness of his own blood. And to those who have been preaching that the Yoruba should unite, the young Yoruba for freedom as a movement, we've never subscribed to that doctrine. We do not believe that the Yoruba should unite with one voice. We believe that in every civilized society, because Yoruba nation is also civilized society before we were allowed the Igbo and Fulani to undermine our greatness. In every civilized society, there must be two diverse opinions or political ideologies: the far right and the far left, so to say, the liberals and the conservatives. This will always be prominent in any civilized society, so we cannot wish this away. The people who have constituted themselves into the Yoruba PDP are oftentimes the liberals among us, and they are willing to undermine the greatness of the Yoruba nation. They are the people who are currently advocating for Oduduwa Republic. It's something which they rejected right from many, many decades ago. But we need to identify these people. We need to tell you why they are doing this. And we need to sharpen your insight to why you must not participate at the October 1st rally. You agree with me that Kudirat Abiola and MK Abiola actually gave their lives for this democracy that we now enjoy today. Because of their death in the hands of the Fulani minority, we have had Obasanjo presidency for 8 years. We have had Yar'Adua presidency for 3 consecutive years. Jonathan was president of Nigeria for 5 years. Currently, Buhari has started his second term of 4 years. By 2023, Buhari will be spending 8 years, meaning that by 2023, we must have had 24 years of uninterrupted democratic dispensation in Nigeria. Now the question is this: why are the Yoruba liberals asking for no election in 2023? The question we have to ask ourselves is, why is it so easy for them to allow Obasanjo presidency for 8 years without them coming out to ask for Oduduwa Republic when their party was in power? Why is it that they were willing to allow Yar'Adua to govern Nigeria for 3 years without them asking for the Oduduwa Republic? When their best friend, Jonathan, was the president of Nigeria for 8 years, this set of people did not advocate for the Oduduwa Republic. Now, they are willing to give Buhari the benefit of the doubt and now asking him to give them restructuring before 2023. When they had power, and since Buhari has been there, they have never agitated for Oduduwa Republic until now. So the question I want to ask these people, or what I want to tell them, if you are genuine in your aspiration and desire for the Oduduwa Republic, why not wait until you put your own son, the first full-blooded Yoruba citizen, as the president of Nigeria from 2023? If you are truly genuine, then we all together advocate for Oduduwa Republic when Tinubu is the president of Nigeria. These people that I'm going to mention their name very clearly to you now and their group, they are all in PDP. They started the agitation for the Oduduwa Republic in 2019. They are willing to give Buhari, a Fulani, the benefit of the doubt to restructure Nigeria before 2023, or there will be no election. The question is this: why is it difficult for them to give Tinubu the benefit of the doubt to become president in 2023, and then collectively, as a unit, we all ask for the Oduduwa Republic? This same group of people will tell you that they want the unity of Nigeria, of Yoruba rather, on one hand. They said that the Yoruba must unite. On the other hand, they tell you that Tinubu is useless, Tinubu is hopeless, Tinubu is corrupt. That is what the liberal will tell you. So if truly you want the unity of the Yoruba nation, if truly this group of people that I will disclose their identity to you now, if you truly, genuinely want Oduduwa Republic, why is it difficult for you to give Tinubu the benefit of the doubt from 2023? Why not support the other Yoruba to put Tinubu as president in 2023, and from there on, both conservative and the liberals in Yoruba join forces together and demand of Tinubu to give us Oduduwa Republic? We have endured Obasanjo, a half Igbo, half Yoruba, for 8 years. He destroyed the civilization of the Yoruba nation from 1975 through 1979. He came back in 1999 after they agreed in principle to the assassination of Abiola. He served the interests of Igbo and Hausa Fulani. Obasanjo gave the Hausa Fulani the Sharia that they are currently using in a secular Nigeria. So why is it that this new agitator for the Oduduwa Republic, why is it difficult for them to allow Tinubu to be there as well, so that we as a people can agitate for the Oduduwa Republic when we have a full-blooded Yoruba there? So these are the questions that we need to ask this new recent agitator for the Oduduwa Republic. And all of them, when they contact me, they said to me, they think that I'm stupid like them. They said it is because of you, Adeyinka grandson, that we are all subscribing to the Oduduwa Republic now, because you started it many years ago. Yes, it's a statement of fact that young Yoruba for freedom started advocating for the Oduduwa Republic as far back as 2012. But we have never done this in a blind manner. We've always been straight with the general public that for us to get the Oduduwa Republic, we must lobby the United States of America, because they are the #1 exporter of weapons, because the Fulani has the backing of the English. We've always said to you that to get to the Oduduwa Republic, you must play politics by electing a full-blooded Yoruba citizen as the president of Nigeria, who will control all the paraphernalia of office of that position and use the same to declare for a return to regional government, and where the Igbo and Hausa Fulani rejected that, he would declare for the Oduduwa Republic. And we have been very clear that where the lobby for the United States of America fails, where Tinubu fails to get the presidency of Nigeria in 2023 or a full-blooded conservative Yoruba, the next best alternative is organized violence. The purpose of organized violence is not simply to kill. That is not our priority. The purpose of organized violence is to defend our life, is to defend our civilization. In defending our lives and civilization, we are willing to deploy chemical and biological weapons to safeguard the interests and welfare of the Yoruba nation and the Yoruba people yet unborn. So the question to these people is this: if you are willing to allow the 8 years of Buhari to go by, what stops you from supporting Tinubu to be president, and collectively as a unit, the Yoruba nation, we then demand of him to give us Oduduwa Republic? The Hausa Fulani and the Igbo supported Obasanjo for 8 years, and Obasanjo gave the Hausa Fulani Sharia. Obasanjo ensures that the Igbo controls the economy of Nigeria when he was in power. So who are these people who are asking you to go out on the 1st of October to rally for the Oduduwa Republic? There are 3 groups being coordinated by another body. Number 1 is the Yoruba PDP. They are asking you to go out on the 1st of October to go and protest for the Oduduwa Republic. Number 2 is the Yoruba Summit Group. Yoruba Summit Group. Number 3 is the Yoruba World Congress. These three groups, Yoruba PDP, Yoruba Summit Group, and Yoruba World Congress, are under the umbrella of the Afenifere Liberal wing. Now let me now tell you the leadership within each of these folds. Number one, the Yoruba PDP is led by Obasanjo, a half Yoruba, half Igbo. Bode George, who is married to a non-Yoruba lady. Seyi Makinde, the current governor of Oyo State, who is married to an Ijaw woman. Olagunsoye Oyinlola, Segun Oni, Fayose, and the rest of them. These are the Yoruba PDP. With the exception of Fayose, who is pro-Yoruba in his outlook, he belongs to the Yoruba PDP, notwithstanding. The Yoruba Summit Group. These are people who style themselves as the central authority in Yoruba land when they couldn't win any election. They have always been part of the Yoruba PDP. And this group is led by people like Ayo Adebanjo, Professor Banji Akintoye, Dr. Tokunbo Awolowo Dosunmu, and Iba Gani Adams. These are the individuals that are in the Yoruba Summit Group that are asking you to come out on 1st of October to ask for the Oduduwa Republic, which they have never done in their entire life. The third group is the Yoruba World Congress. As you all know, the Yoruba World Congress is currently divided along two camps. But notwithstanding, the Yoruba World Congress will give it to him, even though 4 other individuals have issued a press statement that Professor Banji Akintoye has been so removed as the leader of the Yoruba Congress. But we give it that position to him as this leader of the Yoruba World Congress, followed by Dr. Amos Akingba, Chief Tola Adeniyi, Chief Sholagbade Popoola, and Professor Anthony Kila. These 4 individuals, Dr. Amos Akingba, Chief Tola Adeniyi, Chief Sholagbade Popoola, and Professor Anthony Kila, style themselves as the founder of the Yoruba World Congress. Well, I think I know 1 or 2 things about that movement. I do not agree with their assertion. But notwithstanding, these 4 individuals issued a press statement that Professor Banji Akintoye has been removed as the leader of the Yoruba World Congress. That is not for our purview. But these are the people that are asking you on the 1st of October to go and protest on our streets in Yoruba land for Oduduwa Republic. And the final of this group, which we call the Afenifere Liberal wing, is led by Pa Fasoroti. He's very old now. His deputy is Pa Ayo Adebanjo. I think their secretary is Yinka Odumakin. So these are the people asking you to go out on the 1st of October to go and rally. They are the liberals in Yoruba land. I do not believe for 1 minute or 1 second that we should work together with the liberals in Yoruba land. They should roll and do their things and allow the conservatives that are currently ruling in Yoruba land to do their own thing. They have liberals and conservatives in the United States of America, likewise in the United Kingdom, particularly in England. So there is no big deal if we are divided along 2 political ideologies. All these 4 groups support the October rally essentially for one reason only: to undermine the prospect of Tinubu candidacy of the APC Yoruba and its possible election as the first full-blooded Yoruba citizen as the president of Nigeria. They all are anti-Tinubu. Their protest is to undermine Tinubu. And the only reason why these 4 groups, Yoruba PDP, Yoruba Summit Group, Yoruba World Congress, and the Afenifere Liberal Wing, the only reason why they hated Tinubu so much is because they couldn't get political appointments, political position from Tinubu. I don't know why they should get such when they are not a member or members of his party. They have all said that there will be no election in Yoruba land in 2023 without restructuring. This is what they've said. So they are thinking like Igbo. As a matter of fact, Igbo people are the people funding them. And we also had information that the Lebanese are also funding them. And obviously they've been funded by PDP. They said that no restructuring, no election in 2023. It is the same slogan of the Igbo: no referendum, no election. So you cannot blame these people that they are following the dictate of the Igbo. If you look at them, they are either half Yoruba or married to Igbo women. Ironically, all of these groups and their leaders participated at the Jonathan National Conference in 2014. They all participated at that conference, where the conference outrightly rejected restructuring. They cannot deny that they did not participate. They attended the conference of Jonathan in 2014, where restructuring was outrightly rejected. Today, this same set of individuals are saying no election without restructuring. Like no referendum, no election of the Igbo people. They call it referendum rather than referendum. At the Jonathan National Conference, folks, Ayo Adebanjo, who is today leading the Afenifere Liberal Wings, participated as an elder statesman at that conference. He was there. But Day George, who is today a leading voice in the Yoruba PDP, also participated at the Jonathan National Conference of 2014. But Day George represented all the political parties in Yoruba land at that conference. Guys, you must have seen the video by a man called Pastor Emmanuel Bosun, where he was saying that if you vote Buhari as the president of Nigeria in 2015, there will be Fulanization of Nigeria, there will be wanton killing of Yoruba people, there will be destruction of us all. He made that video to ask people to vote for Jonathan. I think that video is still trending. He participated at the Jonathan National Conference. He represented all the Christians in Yoruba land. That same conference, restructuring was rejected. But these same people are today saying no restructuring, no election. How ridiculous can they be? Yinka Odumakin's wife, Joy Odumakin, who is not a Yoruba woman, she represented the civil society group at that conference. When we talk about civil society group, they are predominantly Yoruba people, because we are the one who have always been asking for justice. Yinka Odumakin's wife represented the Yoruba civil service society, even though she's not a Yoruba woman. Yinka Odumakin himself, Dr. Amos Akingba, who led other 3 members of the Yoruba World Congress, and granted a press conference in which they said that they have removed Professor Banji Akintoye as the president of the Yoruba World Congress. Dr. Amos Akingba participated at the Jonathan National Conference. Iba Gani Adams, who granted an interview recently saying that Tinubu fẹ́ jẹun sápò ni, Tinubu ò lè ṣe kinní kan. He is supposed to be head of the army, training our infantry division, our horse cavalry, and the other. But he is not the head of the Yoruba army. He's a general in the army. He said recently that Fulani will not give Tinubu the presidency. And we ask him, what are your plans to ensure that this does not happen? He talks about it, he has no clue of what he wants to do. He participated at the Jonathan National Conference. Pastor Tunde Bakari also participated. These 4 individuals that I've mentioned to you, Yinka Odumaki, Dr. Amos Akingba, Iba Gani Adams, and Pastor Tunde Bakari, were selected to represent the social, cultural, political groups in Yoruba land. Their roles were double one. They also represented the Yoruba people as a bloc at the Jonathan National Conference. These people that I've mentioned to you are all liberals. They are not conservative. They don't care whether Yoruba land is enslaved or not. They care less whether Yoruba land is suppressed or subjugated. They are not bothered as long as they live comfortable life. Majority of them are pecuniary motivated. They look for money, position, and power without any second thought about their descendants. It is a shame on these people that today they have constituted themselves into a nuisance, asking that there will be no election in 2023 without restructuring. Yet, they all participated at the Jonathan National Conference where restructuring was rejected. But shockingly, they never raised their voice that there must be no election in 2015. They were all comfortable with the Jonathan presidency, who paid them handsomely. They allowed Buhari to enjoy 2 terms as president, even giving him the benefit of the doubt to restructure Nigeria before 2023. Yet, their own flesh and blood, their own citizen, Tinubu, a first-class Yoruba for that matter, they don't want to give him the benefit of the doubt. What you will hear from these people, oh, we have had Obasanjo's president. What did he do for the Yoruba nation? So Tinubu is not going to do anything differently. Try him first. Oh, Fulani have captured everywhere. The National Assembly Fulani are everywhere. So Tinubu cannot do anything. Try him first. If we can endure Obasanjo for 8 years, you endure Yaradua for 3 years, you endure from supporting your own flesh and blood. It is you and your group that are the Odale of Yoruba land. You, all of these people that I've mentioned, who are today in Yoruba PDP, who are today in Yoruba Summit Group, who are today members of the Yoruba World Congress, and who are the members of the Afenifere Libra wing. Afenifere is not one, Afenifere is 2. Libra wings and conservative wings. The Afenifere Libra wings and the others that I've mentioned voted massively for Atiku Abubakar of Fulani and Peter Obi and Igbo. But they are unwilling to give their own flesh and blood the opportunity to be president. So they want to undermine Tinubu's chances. They want to derail his campaign. That was why they are working, paid by Igbo and Fulani, to start up a rally. I want to speak as the president of the Young Yoruba for Freedom. And today when I was talking with a doctor that has been asked to do an assessment on me preparatory to my trial, the doctor said to me that people see you as a superhero because she's watched a lot of my videos, she's read a lot of my articles, she's read all the books that I've written. She said that I have massive following on social media all over the world. And I said, I do not see myself as a superhero. I'm just one man who happens to be the president of a movement that is helping to shape Yoruba land and change the course of history. So, guys, there are better people who have stood the test of time for the Yoruba nation. And one man is Tinubu. Without this man, Yoruba nation will have been overrun by the Igbo and Hausa Fulani. And God, in his infinite mercy, always come to the aid of the Yoruba nation. That was why people like us are speaking up, and other young Yoruba for freedom members and other conservatives across Yoruba land. I want to say, with all due respect to everybody, I speak as the president of the Young Yoruba for Freedom. We are now speaking for the Yoruba nation. Awolowo was younger than us when he was doing his own. We will not accept the October rally in any Yoruba city. The rally is being organized to undermine Tinubu's chances. And this group of people that I've mentioned, they have grown in leaps and bounds. They were the same bloodline who undermined Awolowo's prospects. Awolowo won the second largest number of MP in 1959. He ought to be in government of Nigeria. But the Hausa Fulani that took the third position, in the election of 1959 ended up producing the Prime Minister of Nigeria. In 1979 again, Awolowo won that election. The election was to go for a runoff because both Awolowo and Shagari had the same leverage. There was not a clear winner. But the Hausa Fulani and the Igbo were scared that if there should be a runoff, Awolowo will win the election in Kanuri land, in the entire Middle Belt, and in today what is called South-South. So they rigged him out in 1979 by saying that a human being can have a half vote. That was how the concept of the 12-2 came out. If there had been a runoff in 1979, Awolowo would have been president of Nigeria. They destroyed his chance using the Yoruba liberals. Again in 1993, Abiola won the presidential election against all odds. The Hausa, Fulani and the Igbo did not vote for him, but he won resounding victory because we secure the vote of the Kanuri people. He secured the vote of the Middle Belt people. He secured the vote of the people from the South-South, and he secured the vote of the Yoruba people massively. The Igbo and the Hausa Fulani, through the Yoruba Libra, destroyed his chance. So today, these people that I've mentioned, the Yoruba PDP, the Afenifere Libra wings, the Yoruba Summit Group, and the Yoruba World Congress, they would like to give the same treatment, they gave to Awolowo and Abiola to Tinubu. I want to encourage the young Yoruba to stop the rally with organized violence. We must confront the Yoruba leaders. They believe they have Iba Gani Adams, but the young conservative will ridicule his office if he dares to participate at that conference. He will be shocked beyond his wildest imagination. The quality of state of minds of the young Yoruba that will be out on the 1st of October to give it back to them, fight for fight. We will not allow what happened to Awolowo. Our generation will not allow what happened to Abiola to happen to Tinubu. We are going to fight the Yoruba liberals in Yoruba land so that your allies, the Igbo and the Fulani, can see what we are capable of doing to ourselves. Folks, don't fall for the gimmick that if two brothers are fighting, it is foreigners that will inherit their heritage. No. The Caucasian once fought against one another in America. Today, they dominate over African Americans. The English fought themselves for 11 years, killing themselves in a fight that was styled Parliament versus King for 11 years. Today, they are dominating the Scottish, the Welsh, and the Northern Irish in the United Kingdom. We, as Yoruba people, we fought ourselves for 16 years. We will have become one after that war and speak with one voice. But the generation before us made the greatest mistake of their life to be allowed to be part of Nigeria. Because we are part of Nigeria, rather than for us to be a nation so that we can control and dominate within our space and take advantage of the market around us, we were forced to be part of Nigeria. That forced amalgamation of being part of Nigeria has now breed half Yoruba all over the place. And they are using this half Yoruba to undermine the collective good of the Yoruba nation. So the Caucasian fought themselves in America. Today they dominate African America. The English fought themselves. Today they control the United Kingdom. The failure on our part as Yoruba people is that after we have fought ourselves for 16 years, we allow ourselves to be part of Nigeria. Being part of Nigeria has created a nuisance value because of intermarriages that has now breed hopeless half Yoruba people that are working to destroy our nation. People like Obasanjo, people like Tunde Bakari, and the rest of them. We have to refocus and change the game. We must fight ourselves for the second time. The conservative in Yoruba land must confront the liberal for the second war. If we do not fight ourselves, the Igbo and Fulani will not respect us. If we fight ourselves, we will end this deliberate destruction of Yoruba land by the liberals. So I said to the young Yoruba when I addressed them many years ago that we must think like the Caucasians. We must think like the English. If we continue to ignore people who are doing evil to us, they will destroy us. And I've been saying to people in recent time, learn from what has happened to me on a personal level. 8 consecutive times I have been arrested because I ignore the excesses of this irresponsible person making the false allegations against me. If I have confronted her and her family squarely, they will never have made allegation of terrorism against me, which has caused us to be facing trial for racial hatred. So if we continue to ignore this Yoruba Libra, believe you me folks, in our lifetime, in 2023, Tinubu chances will be undermined. So to show the Yoruba Libras that we will give it to them, fight for fight. If they come out on the 1st of October, we must confront them. The conservative must confront these people. They are bringing out ridiculous human beings to come and speak for the Yoruba nation. People who lack common sense. People who lack the basic education. If we do not fight, folks, these people, believe you me, they will ensure Tinubu does not get the ticket of the APC. They will ensure that Tinubu does not become president of Nigeria. If we stop them on the 1st of October rally, they will be shaken. That will be the first sign to the Igbo and Fulani that our generation is damn serious. So I want to encourage the young Yoruba, wherever these people are holding their rally on the 1st of October, to agitate for Oduduwa Republic. They are doing so to undermine Tinubu. We must fight them. We must stop them. If we do not stop them, I can tell you what will happen. If they succeeded in their 1st of October rally, they will go ahead to frustrate the election of Tinubu. The moment we give it back to them, they will change their ways. They will change their ways. So we must not allow the rally to hold. Let me say this very clearly. You might have to play this video in future. By the moment that we make Tinubu the president of Nigeria, the young Yoruba for freedom will lead other Yoruba conservatives on street protests without weapon in what we call organized violence. We will shut down Apapa Wharf. We will shut down Tinker Port. We will shut down Lagos International Airport, and we will shut down Lagos Stock Exchange. Tinubu, as the president of Nigeria, will never kill us. He will negotiate, and our demands will be clear for the world to see. In spite of the fact that we are condemning this rally, we believe that the first thing that we should do as a nation is to establish super special relationship with the United States of America. Then we vote in Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. Then we'll go on organized violence, stopping every government agencies across Yoruba land until Tinubu gives us devolved administration to regional government, until Tinubu gives us our desire to have parliamentary system. That is the way to get to the Oduduwa Republic. Because I know the Hausa Fulani do not want a return to regional government or new constitution that will have secession clause. I can tell you for a fact that the Igbo nation are against a return to regional government that will have a new constitution with a secession clause. So if they refuse regional government, automatically Tinubu will give us our heart desire, the Oduduwa Republic. So we are not in support of the rally. We must show the Libra that gone are the days that their bloodline destroyed Awolowo. Gone are the days that their bloodline destroyed Abiola. We will confront them. It will be a big fight between the Yoruba conservative and the Yoruba liberal if you dare to come out on the 1st of October for your horrible rally. These people premise their rally on the call for restructuring. They participated at the Jonathan National Conference that did not grant Yoruba nation our desire of regional autonomy. During the Jonathan National Conference, we could not agree on resource control. We did not agree on parliamentary system of government. There was no agreement on greater devolution of power to the regions. And there was nothing that has to do with fiscal federalism on how we're going to be sharing revenue. Yesterday, Tinubu called for a change in the revenue sharing formula, that people who are the regions that are creating the wealth are not getting enough from the revenue. When Jonathan Conference happened, We did not get regional government. We did not get parliamentary system. We did not get resource control. We did not get anything. Gani Adam participated at that conference. Today is leading the voice of people asking for restructuring first before election. Yinka Odumakin participated at Jonathan National Conference. Today is asking for no election without restructuring. Ayo Adebanjo participated at that national conference. Today is asking for restructuring before 2023 election. All of them participated. Their rally is to undermine the Yoruba nation. At the Jonathan National Conference, these people who I've mentioned that participated agreed on things that were not divisive in Nigeria. The issue of agriculture and food security is not divisive. Party system and elections, these are not divisive issues. Transparency in government, poverty and wealth creation, economic development, these are not divisive issues in Nigeria, but these were things that the likes of Iba Gani Adam, Ayo Adebanjo, Yinka Odumakin, and the rest of these liberals, these are the things they went to Jonathan Conference to agree on. They agreed on religions and state, public services, foreign policy, diaspora matter, corruption and development, ridiculous things that are not divisive in Nigeria. They said that they went to Jonathan National Conference to get paid at the expense of the future of their descendant. Today they are calling you to boycott election in 2023. Today they are asking you to join a rally asking for the Oduduwa Republic. We, the conservative in Yoruba land, started agitating for the Oduduwa Republic. It is our innate desire, and that is what we are going to get. We have a way of getting it, and we will get it. We will get it for our children's generation. At the Jonathan National Conference, they agreed on minority questions. They agreed on civil society and media. They agreed on judiciary and law reform. They agreed on public works, social welfare, education and culture, citizenship, immigration matter, cross-border crimes, energy crisis, and land holding. These are issues that are not divisive in Nigeria. They are not divisive. They went to Jonathan Conference for fun. None of Tinubu's men, none of the conservative participated except few that just went there to observe proceedings. But 90% of the participants at the Jonathan Conference who represented the Yoruba people or Yoruba interests were members of the PDP and the Libra, yet they got no restructuring. At that conference, they did not advocate for no election in 2015 without restructuring. Even the nonsense that they agreed on, Jonathan said, I will only implement them if I am given a second term. Yet these horrible individuals that are now today asking for you to go out on the 1st of October to rally for Oduduwa Republic participated at that election in 2015 when Jonathan told them that he would not implement the recommendation, even though the recommendation was outright nonsense. They gave him the benefit of the doubt. They participated at that election. But their own flesh and blood, Tinubu, is now aspiring to be president of Nigeria, and these horrible individuals are now coming out to say, no restructuring, no election. We will fight you on the 1st of October. Blood for blood, guns for guns, fight for fight. We will fight you. We will not allow you to treat Tinubu the same way you treated Awolowo and Abiola. At the Jonathan National Conference that these people participated in, they were evasive about the issues that are highly potent, highly divisive, and which actually brought about the National Conference. The National Conference of Jonathan was brought about to discuss national security and defense. It was brought about to discuss devolution of power from the central government to the federating unit. The Jonathan Conference was brought about to discuss political restructuring and a redefinition of the federating unit. That national conference came about as a result of the demand for resource control and resource allocation and the form of government. These were the 5 basic reasons or issues why Jonathan National Conference came to be. None of this issue was resolved. Not a single one of them. We did not have decentralization of the police and the military at that conference. We got no devolution of power to the region from the central government. There was no political restructuring. The Yoruba in Kwara and Kogi, who have been asking to be part of the Yoruba Western region, were not given their states. Were not given their states at the Jonathan National Conference. They were refused to be part of the Western region. Yet, Iba Gani Ada, Inka Odumaki, Ayuade Banjo, Professor Banji Akintoye, Dr. Amos Akingba, and the rest of them are telling you to go out to protest and ask for restructuring before 2023. Yet they participated at the Jonathan National Conference. They couldn't get Kwara and Kogi to be part of the Yoruba Western region. There was nothing like resource control. We are the owner of the crude oil in Nigeria, the Yoruba people. We're producing 35% of the crude oil production in Nigeria. The entire South-South produces 65%. South-South is divided into about 5 or more nations. We are the highest contributor to the crude oil production in Nigeria. Yet, we couldn't get resource control at the Jonathan National Conference. Fulani has expanse of land. Land is a free gift of nature. Fulani has it in abundance. Water is a free gift of nature. The Yoruba has it in abundance. Yet, the federal government controls our waterways, but nobody controls our Hausa Fulani land. And the federal government that we speak about are the Hausa Fulani, who are controlling our waterway, free gift of nature. Are we, the Yoruba, controlling their land in Hausa Fulani land? Free gift of nature. No. All of these people participated at the Jonathan National Conference, yet they couldn't get resource control. They couldn't get political restructuring. We couldn't even get, we said, the Yoruba said, we don't want the unitary system because we are not a nation of immigrants. We are a nation of indigenous people. The perfect form of government is parliamentary system. They participated at that conference and came home with nothing, absolutely nothing, not restructuring, but today they are telling you no restructuring, no 2023. We will fight you if you come out on the 1st of October to do your horrible, stupid rally. We will confront you. We will deal with you squarely. It will be the first time in the history of the Yoruba for the conservative to give it back to the Yoruba liberals. I do not support the unity of the Yoruba nation. The liberal must do their things. The conservative must continue to think Yoruba first. But where we will have conflict of interest is if the Yoruba liberal antagonize the Yoruba conservative. If you have been campaigning for the Oduduwa Republic without calling out Tinubu's name, we will not confront you. You cannot destroy Awolowo, destroy Abiola, and you are telling us that we should fold our hands to see you destroy Tinubu. If Tinubu is not the president of Nigeria, I will continue to face hell in England in the hands of their police. So we are doing this for self-interest. If Tinubu is not the president of Nigeria, Hausa Fulani will continue to control our waterways when we don't control their land. If Tinubu is not the president of Nigeria, Hausa Fulani will continue to control our judiciary. If Tinubu is not the president of Nigeria, Hausa Fulani will continue to control our custom. If Tinubu is not the president of Nigeria in 2023, Hausa Fulani will continue to control our immigrations in Yoruba land. They will continue to control our borders in Yoruba land. They will continue to say to us that when Hausa Fulani have no electricity, we Yoruba cannot generate our own electricity. So they will destroy the future of our descendants. So this is the time for you, Yoruba conservative, to fight for your children's future. We must not allow the October rally to take place. We must fight the Yoruba liberals in Yoruba land. Yoruba must fight each other. If we do not fight each other, we will be consumed by the liberals. People say to you, go and look at the English history. They fought each other for 11 years. Go and look at the Caucasian history in America. They kill each other first. We have killed ourselves in the past, yet the liberal continues to undermine us because we have allowed intermarriages that is destroying the Yoruba civilization. So they went to that Jonathan useless sham conference and got nothing back for you. Today they are telling you to go out and protest on the 1st of October, demanding for restructuring before 2023 election. We will decimate you. We will do that. These people, we call out their name again. Yinka Odumaki, Dr. Imosa Kimba, Ibagani Adam, Pastor Tunde Bakari, Yinka Odumaki's wife, Pastor Emmanuel Bosun, Bode George, Ayo Adebanjo, and so many other liberals, as delegates to the Jonathan National Conference, agreed on the issue that do not matter and disagree on the issue that really matters to the Yoruba nation. There was no restructuring. At the Jonathan Conference, the Yoruba demand for regionalism was rejected, folks. The Yoruba demand for regionalism at the Jonathan Conference was rejected. You know what it was substituted with? It was substituted with the creation of more states as the federating unit, which further weakens Yoruba land. We had 36 states already. This horrible Yoruba liberal participated at the Jonathan National Conference. They increased the states in Nigeria from 36 to 54. When we were saying that the state should be reduced to regions, they went there to party, to sleep with different women. They locked them in hotel. They gave them so much money. As liberal as they are, half Yoruba, half Igbo, irresponsible set of individuals. They never thought about the interests of their descendants. They just wasted such a golden opportunity. They obtained no restructuring, but they did not say no restructuring, no election in 2015. They participated in that election, supporting stupid Fulani who deceived them that I will even implement the nonsense recommendation when I have been voted into power. And they believe Jonathan, who is not a Yoruba citizen. He lied to them. Vote for me, Yoruba. I will implement the recommendation of the National Conference. He deceived them. They believe Jonathan, who is not their flesh and blood. But these horrible Yoruba people are antagonizing Tinubu, saying that they do not believe him. If you cannot wait for Tinubu to get the presidency of Nigeria in 2023, and you think that you can stop and undermine his prospect, we will deal with you in Yoruba land. You will face hell. So they did not get regional government. They created more states. These delegates could not even get a state for the Yoruba in Kwara and Kogi states or get them to join the southwestern region. Today they are stupid, saying rubbish. Jonathan is not Fulani, it's an Ijo. Before Jonathan turned hard, his people have been asking for resource control. He could not even give it to them for 5 years that he was president of Nigeria. And this Yoruba liberal believes such a foreigner to safeguard their interests. Jonathan did not grant them the desire of the people, Yoruba people in Kwara and Kogi, to be part of Southwest. He's not Fulani, he's Ijo. Is he not supposed to do your bidding by granting the Yoruba in Kwara and Kogi to be part of Southwest? No, he did not. But Tinubu will do that. This horrible liberal, they know only Tinubu, a full-blooded Yoruba, can bring about restructuring. So they want to stop him because they don't want restructuring. They don't want Oduduwa Republic. They are using the demand for Oduduwa Republic as a leverage to ask for money. That is what they ask for. Iba Gani Adam takes money from the Igbo. That is why he finds it difficult to condemn Igbo criminality in Yoruba land. Yinka Odumakin takes money from the Igbo. Femi Fani-Kayode takes money from the Igbo. Ayo Adebanjo takes money from the Igbo. That is why they cannot speak truth about the Igbo criminalities across Yoruba land. They went to the Jonathan conference. They couldn't get Yoruba in Kwara and Kogi to be part of the Southwest. But look at what Tinubu did. He won Kwara and Kogi for the Conservative. There were referenda in 1955 in Ilorin division and Kaba divisions. We've been saying this to you. People voted to be part of the Western Nigeria. The vote is still binding today. We are going to go into the archive and bring this out when Tinubu is the president, so that we bring in the 12 Yoruba local government in Kwara. We call them Okun State and mark them as part of this Western Nigeria. We bring the Yoruba 6 local government in Kogi and call them Okun State and be part of the Yoruba Western region. The 12 states, I made a mistake, the 12 states in Kwara will be called Oya State. These were the demands of the Yoruba at the Jonathan National Conference. The Yoruba in Kwara stated clearly that they want Oya State to be part of Western Nigeria, which is today's Southwest. But the likes of Iba Gani Adam were sitting, they couldn't get that. They are making stupid noise that they want restructuring and no election in 2023. We will show you in Yoruba land. You can't undermine Tinubu's presidency. You can't undermine his chances. The Yoruba people in Kogi came to that Jonathan National Conference asking for Okun State to be part of the Western Nigeria, but they got nothing. Jonathan even deceived them. While these people, the Yoruba Liberals who participated at the Jonathan Conference, why they could not get anything for the Yoruba nation, it will shock you because I wrote about it. I spoke on behalf of the Yoruba nation, rejecting the recommendation of the Jonathan Conference. At that conference, Ruga was approved. At Jonathan Conference, where Yoruba Liberals that are today asking you to go for rally on the 1st of October. They participated at the Jonathan Conference where Ruga was approved. Fulani got nomadic education at that national conference. Fulani headmen, ranches and routes across Nigeria was approved at the Jonathan Conference. The difference between us, the conservative Yoruba, young conservative Yoruba, and the Liberal is that we are very precocious. We are extremely intelligent. We are so determined. We read day and night when you go to club and party. So you don't have information. We do, and information is power. That is why many people are watching me all over the world, because I'm saying nothing but the truth. I have read the recommendation of the Jonathan National Conference, the stupid Yoruba Libra who are canvassing for you to go out on the 1st of October to protest on the street. They have no clue of what Jonathan recommendation says. It approved Ruga. At that Jonathan Conference, the exploitation of Yoruba resources and our geographical space was not discussed at the conference. Our crude oil that is being exploited by the Awusa Fulani was not discussed at that conference. Our waterway being exploited by the Awusa Fulani was not discussed at that national conference. Yet, they are shouting restructuring now or no 2023 election. We will deal with you. It is people with information, with knowledge who rule. That's why the APC has been ruling in Yoruba land. It is for us to close the deal, for the Yoruba APC to take the presidency of Nigeria and do Yoruba proud. At the Jonathan National Conference, the ownership of the Yoruba port was not made an issue, yet all of them sat down, Ayo Adebanjo and co, who are today members of the Afenifere liberal wings, who have today congregated as Yoruba Summit Group, who are today member of the Yoruba World Congress. Who are in PDP. They participated at the Jonathan National Conference, got no restructuring. The ownership of the Yoruba port was not made an issue. The VAT, which many generated in Yoruba land, was not made an issue. Our VAT generated in Yoruba land is shared with Hausa Fulani and the Igbo, while we waste away. We live wretched life across Yoruba land. Nothing was made an issue there. They open their stupid mouth because they know that you easily forget things. How could Iba Gani Adam, Yinka Odumaki, Dr. Imosakiba, Ayo Adebanjo, Bode George, how could they say that you must go out to protest for restructuring or no 2023 election when they participated at the National Conference of Jonathan and got nothing close to restructuring? Yet, they gave Jonathan the benefit of the doubt to campaign on the promise to implement his recommendation of this conference if he wins second time. Yet, they cannot give Tinubu the benefit of the doubt. Evil-minded souls you are. You think more of yourself. You're not thinking about your children. So many Yoruba are wasting away abroad. Yet we are the richest in Africa. The wealth in Yoruba land can take care of 120 million people. The wealth in Yoruba land, yet Yoruba are only 60 million. So if we control our wealth, we control our region, we control our taxes, no single Yoruba would desire to live in North America or any European country, because we will have more than enough to sustain our society, to provide for our people, to protect for the future of the unborn Yoruba generation. But Libra have no clues because they have no brain. At that Jonathan conference, the Igbo presence and massive influx to Yoruba land, accompanied with their sheer impunity and disdain for our culture and space, was not made an issue. It wasn't. Today I was discussing with my lawyer in preparatory to my hearing on the 25th of September. And he was asking me, how do you, because the court would like to know, how do you wish to regulate Igbo? Influx of Igbo into Yoruba land. How do you wish to do that? And we explained in a very simple manner. We don't want them to troop into Yoruba land any longer. We want them to have residency card. We want them to be registered. And those of them who have committed crime to be deported from Yoruba land. And we should be able to restrain them from entry into Yoruba land without proper documentation, without proper verification. This is when we say we're going to chase Igbo out of Yoruba land. Yoruba land is our space. England is not my space. That is why the stupid English police can treat me anyhow in their country. Yoruba land is my space. We should be able to dictate what happens in our own space. We're not slaves. Foreigners should not dictate the pace for us in Yoruba land. Lebanese should not dictate for our people in Yoruba land. Destroying people that are working in their businesses in Yoruba land. Indians should not come and control our industries. The English businesses in Yoruba land must be stopped from making profit in Yoruba land because they are supporting Fulani with weapons. Foreigners must be stopped from controlling our waterways, from controlling our port, from controlling our airport, from controlling our prison, from controlling our police, from controlling our immigration, from controlling our military. Foreigners in Yoruba land should stop dictating the pace, dictating our political economy for us. But the Libra are not thinking about this. The presence of the Igbo in Yoruba land, they did not address it because the Libra are pro-Igbo. That's why they want Igbo to participate in elections in Yoruba land, because they use the Igbo to win election. One of the four the fundamental reason why these liberals are calling for rally for the boycott of the election in 2023 is because they cannot win in Yoruba land. They know that the APC will win and win and win again. And we don't want to be complacent as a party, the APC. We have to look into the hinterland. We have to look into the towns and villages and provide the enabling environment for Yoruba people in our towns and villages to have a good life so that people will stop trooping into the major cities. If we do that as a political party, we will be defeating the liberals across Yoruba land every now and then. So while we continue to win election in Yoruba land, we must not be complacent. We must not think that the Yoruba will be voting for us forever. We must provide for their need. 5 basic things must be given to every Yoruba citizen wherever they are. Free and qualitative education, free and qualitative health care, job security, security of lives and properties, and affordable housing. This must be the dream of the Yoruba nation. So while we are winning election, defeating the liberals in Yoruba land, we must provide for the people. And we cannot provide enough for the people in Yoruba land because of the unitary system. So we must continue to impress this on the electorate, not to be deceived by the liberals, shouting that there must be protests, shouting there must be restructuring, copying from the horrible criminally minded Igbo who says no referendum, no election, but they went 2 days to the election, they participated in the election and gave their votes to the Fulani Atiku. We cannot afford to jeopardize the future of our children. At that Jonathan conference, folks, there's something that insults the entire Yoruba nation. For every 100 naira generated in Nigeria today, Yoruba nation contribute 49 naira. The South nation contribute 44 naira. The remaining 7 naira comes from Hausa Fulani, 2 naira 50 kobo, the Middle Belt 2 naira, Igbo 1 naira 50 kobo, and the Kanuri 1 naira. If you look at the recommendation of the Jonathan Conference in terms of road constructions, it's ridiculous. That conference gave the Southwest Yoruba land 1 road to be constructed for 5 years. And that road was Lagos-Ibadan Expressway that has been on, it's not new road. They reconstruct it every now and then since Obasanjo's presidency. And they are still doing the road up to today. Yet we are the economic backbone of Nigeria. It is our money that is building infrastructure across Nigeria. But at that national conference, only 1 road was allocated to the Yoruba land to be constructed in 5 years, from 2015 to 2019. You know how many roads were given to the Igbo? Southeast, 3 roads, yet Igbo contribute 1 naira 50 kobo to every 100 naira that federal government generates as revenue in Nigeria. South-South roads that were allocated for them, 4. North Central, that is contributing 2 naira to every 100 naira realized in Nigeria as revenue. North Central got 7 roads to be constructed. Northeast, that is generating 1 naira for every 100 naira raised in Nigeria by the federal government, got 5 roads. Northwest, that is only generating 2 naira 50 kobo of every 100 naira collected in Nigeria as revenue, got 2 roads. We Yoruba that are contributing 49 naira, we got only 1 road. The recommendation of Jonathan, many liberals don't know about it. We have the documentation. We acquire knowledge to speak respectfully, to speak eloquently, to change the course of history. You need to be up and doing. When you go to pub, when you run around with girls, you have sex with multiple sexual partners. We are preparing for the future of our children so that we can give a better life to our descendants. You have to respect the conservatives in Yoruba land. We are the only one and the only group who desire the Oduduwa Republic. Not you liberals that are sitting in front of your computer shouting for Oduduwa Republic with your mere propaganda. This horrible liberal went to Jonathan conference and got only 1 road to be constructed for the entire Yoruba nation. They have destroyed our humanity to the extent that our people believe that they will have to be slaves to minorities. We are majority. They are talking about the review of the Constitution of Nigeria to be arranged by Omo Agege, an Urobo citizen. Urobo is only 2 million people. We Yoruba are 60 million. Minority will now sit and coordinate the review of the Constitution of Nigeria. You have been reduced to horrible soul, worse than slaves. But we will change this course of history. Folks, if we do not confront the liberals on the 1st of October, if we do not fight them in Yoruba land, if they succeeded with their horrible rally, believe you me, they will stop Tinubu's presidency. They will stop it. So that's why we are calling on Yoruba conservative. People like MC Oluomo and his NURTW in Lagos. You must stop the rally on the 1st of October. The same way we stopped the Aotoge June 12 last year, organized by Yoruba Choir. We stopped it. We will stop your rally again. You will give this to the young Yoruba for freedom. We always change the course of history. Whatever we say, we do out and do it. We will do it. We will stop that your rally. We will stop it. We've had enough of this subjugation. Enough of this oppression. Enough of this injustice. If we cannot go back to the constitution that we agreed before 1960, then we will break up Nigeria peacefully. And the only man who can achieve that is Tinubu. That's why the Yoruba liberals are trying to stop him. So folks, I want to appeal with you, young Yoruba conservative. On the 1st of October, while we will go out to confront the Yoruba liberal, I will encourage you to lower the flag of Nigeria and fly the flag of the Oduduwa Republic. It is significant enough to send a clear message to our descendants that we will change the course of history and get them the freedom that they so desire. If you can do that on the 1st of October, wherever you may be, to fly the flag of the Oduduwa Republic, not the Libra flag, not their useless blue, white, green flag, like Nigeria flag that they have created. These guys are horrible. They are the one who changed our name to Oduduwan. We are not Oduduwan. We're Yoruba people. They are the one who changed our republic to Oduduwa Nation. We're Oduduwa Republic. Regardless of the word republic, we will maintain our royalty, our monarchical system. So, to Yoruba Libra, if you are genuine in your agitation for the Oduduwa Republic, it is imperative that you think long and hard and ask yourself this question. Why did you give Jonathan the benefit of the doubt in 2015 when he lied to you that if he secures a second term, he will implement his own conference recommendation? What stops him from implementing it immediately the conference was concluded? You believed him, yet he's not a Yoruba citizen. Why wouldn't you believe your own flesh and blood, Tinubu, who says that his vision is the decentralized democracy in Nigeria? You are evil. We know this. And this is the time that we, the good souls of Yoruba land, the conservative, will give you back what you have been doing to the generation before us. If you come out on the 1st of October, we'll fight you. We won't wait for the Nigerian police, of course, to do the fighting. We will fight you. And I'm encouraging young Yoruba across Yoruba land, anywhere you are, on the 1st of October, if you see the gathering of the horrible Yoruba Libra, fight them. And to those of you who are in England, shame on you. You want to go and protest and transform them. What happened? In 1922, the war between the English and the Irish, they were asking me to use British in court. I said, no, I'm going to use English. We were discussing the IRA, how the English went to Northern Ireland and killed people. Was that lawful? That's what we were discussing. Then how the IRA came and blew up London. Was that lawful? That's the legitimate question. And I spoke about how the English came to Yoruba land in 1851 and killed our people. They left their home country. Was that a lawful thing to do? So you're telling us, as young Yoruba for freedom, that we should not defend Yoruba land. Because if we fight, it will be categorized as unlawful. No, it is to defend our civilization. We will fight. We will deploy chemical weapons if the federal government attacks us. These are legitimate questions that we will be addressing. And I'm saying to young Yoruba, I want you to come to court on the 25th of September. That is not the hearing, it's pre-hearing. Just come to court, just come and see. We're working for you. We're changing the narration. We're helping to change the course of history. You have to embrace people that have the best of your interests. You don't give out your best brain to be destroyed. You will never be great. The Caucasians don't do that. If they identify a brain, they will provide everything he needs so that he can use his brain to make their homeland great. The English do the same thing. We had a break in this campaign because I was so stressed and I needed to do something else. You have got to protect your brain. It's very important. So we say this again to the Yoruba Libra. Drop the idea of your rally. Let us put Tinubu there as the president. Then immediately he's sworn in as our president. Let us start protesting for him to devolve power to the region. And if it doesn't, your protest will be legitimate. You gave Jonathan the benefit of the doubt. You are currently giving Buhari, a Fulani, the benefit of the doubt to provide you restructuring before 2023. Why not give your own flesh and blood, Tinubu, the benefit of the doubt to do what is right for you? So folks, we spend an hour, 30 minutes. Like I said to you, we were supposed to start chapter 3 of the Constitution. But we have to speak about this. Then I'll speak about one more thing. I will call it a day today so we can continue tomorrow. But let me take a moment to read some of your comments. Yeah, this is not seen. Look, folks, and to the Libra, the problem of your nation, the Yoruba nation, is you, because you do not support your own. It's not that Yoruba is bad, it is because you are half Yoruba. You have never been full-blooded Yoruba. Look at what happened to me. I wouldn't have done or survived this long if there is no support of the Yoruba conservatives. If there is no support of the YYF leadership. If there is no support of the Yoruba YYF members. That is the beauty of conservatism. They do not give up on their hold. That is why I'm happy to be here. Libra will have given up on me. Libra will have thrown me to the devil. They have always killed the best of the Yoruba brain. That is what Libra Yoruba have always been doing. But let us quickly move away from these people and talk about something that is more powerful. The Yoruba as a people have only desire for 9 major things to be part of Nigeria. It's not a big deal. These are very elementary. These are very simple that every reasonable people in Nigeria should see as the irreducible demand for greatness of Nigeria, irreducible demand for peace and unity in Nigeria. One is regional administrations. We must collapse the 36 states to 10 regions or 15 regions. Do you understand? I have used 15 or 10 regions because I have enormous respect for late Anthony Enahoro and Professor Wole Soyinka when they came out under Pronaco to establish 15 regions they call Edo region, Efik Ibibio region, Gwari region, Hausa Fulani region, Igbo region, Ijaw region, Kanuri region, Nupe region, Tiv region, Yoruba region, Western Middle Belt region, Central Middle Belt region, Eastern Middle Belt region, Western Delta, and Eastern Delta. They came up with that 15 regions, saying, let us dissolve the 36 states into 15 regions. We of the Young Yoruba for Freedom work more on that and say that, well, let us have Yoruba region 1, Hausa region 2, which will include Fulani, Igbo region 3, Kanuri region 4, Ijaw region 5, Edo and Urobo 6. In the Pronaco, they call Urobo Western Delta, Urobo with some other minority ethnic group. But we fixed them into one called Edo and Urobo, which is number 6. Efik and Ibibio, which is number 7. Under the Pronaco, they put Eastern Delta, separate from Efik and Ibibio. So we were like, let us bring these people together because they are minority. Their population is not so huge. You can't just make them region, spaces that should be local government. You just created a region out of that. It would be too expensive. Regardless of the fact of the skirmishes of ethnicity, they can be region. Within the region, there will be prophecies. So these minority ethnic groups in a region that is multicultural can have their own distinct prophecies. So we came up with Western Middle Belt, Central Middle Belt, and Eastern Middle Belt, making 10 regions. You see, that's very simple. It will now be the responsibility of President Tinubu to give us either 15 ethnic regions as suggested by Pronaco under Anthony Enahoro and Professor Wole Soyinka, or adopt the Young Yoruba for Freedom 10 regions. That is the first thing the Yoruba desire, regional government. We just want Yoruba to be one block. When you are divided into states without a coordinating head, you can never be progressive as a people. England, they have state as well. They don't call it state. Like in England, there is London, Yorkshire, Liverpool, Manchester, Birmingham, and all of that. These are like states. But all of them are within England. Scotland also has states. I've written about them before. All of them are within Scotland. The same thing in Wales, the same thing in Northern Ireland. Yoruba should be a region. All the Yoruba states, the 12 local government of Kwara, the 6 local government of Kogi, the 1 local government of Edo that is Yoruba speaking, the 3 Yoruba local government of Ishekiri in Delta, plus Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Osun, Ondo, and Ekiti State. All of them will be Yoruba region under one head, the Premier or Prime Minister. You see, the state will still be there, but we can work as a group. So our health policy will be one, our educational policy will be one, our infrastructure will be one, the road construction will be the same standard, our health policy is going to be the same thing. We'll be able to have the same policy on agriculture, fishery, and whatever. Everything will be one. So when you live in Ekiti State and you move down to Kwara State, you will receive the same quality of health care in these 2 states because we are all under one region. So we can grow as a body. Regional government is very imperative for the Yoruba nation. But folks, Igbo and Hausa Fulani do not want this. This is the truth. Igbo want the states so that they can have easy access to all the Yoruba state. When you say Ondo State, for instance, the federal government can easily overrun Ondo State and completely take control of Ondo State because it's just a small state. But if we are a region, it will be difficult. So Igbo don't want region. Hausa Fulani don't want region because their target is to control the Yoruba space. If we were to be white people, Nigeria would have since broken up. Because the Yoruba, what we want is different from what the Igbo want. What the Igbo want are the same with what the Hausa Fulani want. So that would be enough reason to break up Nigeria. But because we are black people, we would rather kill ourselves first before we do what is right. The second thing the Yoruba nation wants is the restoration of the parliamentary system of government with Abuja as the capital. The Yoruba people don't like this unitary system. You want to be president of Nigeria, you will have to tour the whole of Nigeria. You go to Hausa Fulani 7 state, you go to the Kanuri 6 state, you go to the Middle Belt 7 state or 6 state, you go to our Igbo 5 state, you come to South 6 state, you come to Yoruba land maybe 7 or 10 states. You tour all these states trying to be president. Very expensive. But under unitary system, it's very expensive. That's what the system we're practicing. If we go back to parliamentary system, you don't have to tour the entire Nigeria to become the Prime Minister of Nigeria. You only have to win the vote of your immediate constituency. Then if your party has the majority MP and you are the leader of your party, you automatically become the Prime Minister. Very cheap. It is the desire of the Yoruba that we go back to this system. But the Igbo want this presidential system under unitary system. The Hausa Fulani want the continuation of this presidential system, which is against the collective desire of the Yoruba people. If we are to be white-skinned people, Nigeria will have since broken up because of these differences. Another thing that the Yoruba nation desire is the decentralization of the military along regional regimental armed forces, or you call it regional national guard, under the command and control of each regions, and the personnel to come from each regions. It's so simple. Look at what the military has done to Nigeria. They destroy our regional system of government. They continue to kill the best of us. They continue to destroy the political structure of Nigeria. They created the useless 36-state system. They created the monthly allocation that is making everybody to rely on Abuja. They created the security vote. They created a federal civil service. They created constituency allowance. They created expensive things because we centralized the military. If one ethnic group is in control of the presidency, they use the military to kill, suppress, and subjugate other regions or other ethnic groups. So if we are to be whites, we will have since decentralized the military along regional regimental armed forces. So Yoruba will have their own military, called the Yoruba National Guard. Igbo will have their own military, called Igbo National Guard. Hausa Fulani will have their own military, called Hausa National Guard. Now, if we have our various military armed, people will not just be using the military to suppress the interests of others. You will have to think twice. But under the centralized military, Buhari can tomorrow remain in power using the centralized military. But if we decentralize the military and Buhari wants to remain in power, the military of the Yoruba and the military of the Igbo will join forces and declare war against the military of the Fulani. But Fulani will be smart and said, okay, I don't want people to die. So Buhari will rather resign and allow another person to be. But with this centralized military, Buhari can be president of Nigeria for as long as he so desires. Nothing will happen because we have a centralized military. The Igbo people want the continuation of the centralized military for one purpose. So one day they will become president again. They were president before under Abu Rossi. So when they are president, they want to use that centralized military to kill Yoruba people, to kill Hausa Fulani people. The Hausa Fulani desire the centralized military so that whenever they are in power, so they can use the military to suppress others. Because of these differences, if we were to be white-skinned people, Nigeria would have been broken up since. Because we don't desire the same thing. The Yoruba knows the impact of centralized military. Babangida used the military to decimate us. Tafawa Balewa and Zik used the military to kill 528 Yoruba children, women and men between 1962 and 1964. Abacha used the centralized military to kill 16,000 Yoruba people between 1993 and 1998. Every government is always using centralized military. Look at Buhari using centralized military to kill IPOB members. Look at Buhari. Under him, the Fulani are using the centralized military to kill people in southern Kaduna, to kill people in Middle Belt. If we're to be white-skinned, that people that we hate so much, but they are more civilized than us. If we're to be white, Nigeria will have been divided a long time because we do not have the same desire. The Yoruba want the military to be decentralized. The Igbo don't want it. The Hausa Fulani don't want it. Why are we keeping ourselves as one? The number 4 thing that the Yoruba nation desire is the decentralization of the police along regional police service. Folks, I can't begin to, I will have to be honest with you. When I was talking with my lawyer today, he was asking me, and with a doctor, because they know that I'm so stressed, but you guys don't know that I'm so stressed. Believe me, the allegation of terrorism stressed me. The fact that they're taking me to court for racial hatred and I have to spend money, time and energy, it stresses me. These are white folks that I'm dealing with. But you Yoruba, you don't think that I'm stressed. You know that on a normal day, without this case, I will be more articulate than I am today. Believe me, I will be at my best form. But I have a lot of things that I'm thinking. So they bring in an expert doctor to come and assess me. But you don't think like that because I speak. You don't know what I have to put up with as an individual. So when the doctor was asking me about my brother, but you don't think about that. That was my best friend. That was the only friend I had. And they want to know the impact of his death on my person. And they could see, they were writing a lot of things down. Whenever I'm talking about him, I'm very passionate. It's so painful. Your best friend, the only man who have always defended me, and he was killed. But they see the impact, and we're going to raise this issue in court. They know that I feel very painful about his death. But people don't see that. If you have observed me very well, when there was no allegation of terrorism or anything, I was more articulated, more prepared in all of my speeches, political speeches. So you can see the pain in me, in my family, that because of lack of decentralization of the police, I lost my best friend. Killed by the Igbo policemen and Hausa Fulani policemen working in Yoruba land. To such an extent that medical experts are assessing the impact of my life. So that we raise this issue when we get to court. But we don't do all of that in Yoruba land. I saw a video of a woman who was arrested with people beating her. This woman is insane. She was saying, yes, I'm involved in stealing children. She's got back. You could see that she's got mental health problem. But people can't see that she's insane. She's just talking horrible things out of her mouth. They were beating her up. They were dehumanizing her. Because our society is illiterate society. For me to come and speak about the death of my brother is a huge pain in my heart, in my family heart, because of one singular problem: the centralization of the Nigerian police. Why will you put guns in the hands of Igbo people in Yoruba land, the same people who hate us so much, and they openly express this, that they are going to destroy us? You make them policemen in Yoruba land, they will kill Yoruba people. Why will you put guns in the hands of Hausa Fulani people, people who say they are born to rule, that if you talk they will kill you? You put guns in their hand to be policing Yoruba land. Folks, for God and country, this is bullshit. This is bullshit. So the desire of the Yoruba nation is the decentralization of the police. Let us have Yoruba police service, Igbo police service, Hausa Fulani police service, Kanuri police service, Ijaw police service. Let the personnel be drawn from their respective region. But what do you have? Ordinary Amoteku. The federal government is shaking, headed by Fulani Buhari. The federal government is shaking that you cannot have your own security. What does that tell you? The Fulani want to suppress you. If you decentralize military and the police, there will be reduction in killing in Nigeria. Igbo criminals will behave themselves in Nigeria. That is when Igbo will be in their best form, if there is decentralization of the police and the military. Igbo criminal will fizzle out from Yoruba because you are asking Yoruba people to police their own space. They will smoke out all Igbo criminals. So the Igbo and Fulani, because they use this security apparatus to suppress and subjugate you, they are saying they don't want regional police. This is sufficient reason to break up Nigeria for the good of the people and the generation yet unborn. But because we are not white people, we don't speak truth to ourselves. The white people that will love to condemn. How many people will be arrested in Yoruba land and you are asking doctors to come and examine them? What has been going on in their past? They look at my past. They look at, they found evidence of me supposing to do PhD, but I decided to spend that money on my son's healthcare. These are all of the evidences that we are going to bring in to bear in court. I have evidences of going to court twice to leave the country because of the stress of the police. Even the police, as much as I hate them, they come to my house and ask me if I need anything. They know that I'm going through stress, but people don't see it. The Yoruba don't see it. You don't allow the best of your brain to waste away. It will have a negative impact on your nation, on your ability to grow. People are dedicated to give you information, to make you aware. You don't allow them to waste away. You always protect the best of your best. That is how you can grow as a people. If we decentralize the police, crime will reduce automatically across Yoruba land. You will not need to pray to Jesus Christ every now and then when you are going to buy milk, when you are going to the shop to get food. You are not controlling your home police in Yoruba land. Your police are being controlled by foreigners whom you do not speak the same language with. They kill you like Sarah. So the fourth thing that the Yoruba nation desires is the decentralization of the police. These things are too simple. But you ask yourself, why is Amotekun a problem for the Hausa Fulani? It is because when you control your home police, nobody can easily suppress and subjugate you. Guns, very important to safeguard your civilization. Imagine Tinubu as the president of Nigeria. Amotekun will have been styled the Yoruba National Guard. Your son would not condemn it. He will not. But Fulani who wishes to control you sees Amotekun as a means for you to protect your own civilization. They are against it. I love white people. I can't pretend. I have lived with them for 13 years. When they discuss with each other, they are always honest. But you, black people in Nigeria, you are dishonest people. You don't speak the truth. That is why what I am doing is strange to a lot of you. I'm an Orishadian and I'm always speaking nothing but the truth. But you go to church, you go to mosque every day of your life, but you cannot speak the truth. How can you say God Almighty, who created you Yoruba, He created the other one Igbo, He created the other one Hausa? How can you say that He is crazy? Yet you go to church and mosque to pray to this same God who created you differently. But you want to make yourself one. Is that a possibility? So you're saying that your God is a crazy God. As Orishadians, our God is not crazy. He created us differently, and we must embrace our differences. Igbo and Fulani do not wish for the police in Nigeria to be decentralized. The simple reason is they want to use the gun to suppress you. The moment you have a decentralized military, decentralized police, there will be peace in Nigeria. And if you ask me, where is my evidence? We have never fought a single war as Nigeria with Benin Republic. Why? Benin Republic has their own independent military and their own police. If we try nonsense, they have the capacity for guns, they will fight us. We have never fought Cameroon, our neighbor to the east. Why? Because Cameroon has independent police and military. They have guns. So if we attack them, they will attack us back with guns. We, Nigeria, we have never fought Niger Republic. Why? Because Niger Republic have their own independent military and police to confront our excesses. It is likewise the same thing. As a country, Nigeria has never fought a single war with Chad Republic because Chad Republic have their own police, they have their own military. But the police in Nigeria, the military in Nigeria, they have always been killing other Nigerians. So now that you have Buhari Fulani, the police in Nigeria are killing Yoruba people because they are predominantly Fulani. Now that you have Fulani as the president of Nigeria, the military in Nigeria are killing Yoruba people because they are predominantly Fulani. So if you want the killing to stop, decentralize the military, decentralize the police along regional regimental lines. The same way that Nigeria has not gone to war with Benin Republic, you will see that the Yoruba military will not go to war with the Igbo military. The same way Nigeria has not gone to war with Niger Republic, you will see that if we decentralize the military and the police, the Hausa Fulani military will not go to war with the Kanuri military. The same way Nigeria has not been at war with Niger Republic, you will see that if we decentralize the police and the military, the Ijaw police will not be at war with the Efik Igbo police. It's a simple thing, folks. It's not big deal. You spend quality time praying to God Almighty, yet you are saying to God, who created you differently, that He's a crazy God. So you want to fashion out an imaginary one Nigeria. It is not possible. The Igbo and the Fulani do not want the decentralization of the military and the decentralization of the police because they want to kill you, Yoruba. They want to suppress you. They want to steal your wealth. Nigeria should have been divided a long time ago. It is the irresponsible, self-serving career politicians in England who are holding Nigeria together because they are using Fulani to steal the wealth of the Yoruba people. Number 5 thing that the Yoruba nation has always desired. Very simple, folks. We want the decentralization of the federal government agencies, departments, and ministries. The Igbo created federal civil service because they were unable to work in the Yoruba region government agency. They were unable to work in the Hausa Fulani region's government agency. So they created one federal civil service so that they can work everywhere. We're saying decentralize this agency back to the regions. Let the Yoruba manage their own custom. Igbo, manage your own custom. Hausa, manage your own custom. Let the Yoruba manage their own borders. Hausa, manage your borders. Igbo, manage your borders. Let the Yoruba manage their own airport, port authority. You call it Yoruba Port Authority. We manage our own airports. Igbo, call your own Igbo Airport Authority. Hausa, call your own Hausa Airport Authority. Manage them differently. We go back to the decentralization. That is devolution of power to the regions. Do you think Igbo want this? No. Igbo do not want that the federal government agency be decentralized because they want to take the jobs in Yoruba land. Yet, Yoruba people don't want to go to Igbo land for jobs. Hausa Fulani do not want the federal government to be decentralized, that is federal civil service, to be decentralized because Fulani want to work in your airport in Yoruba land. They are already doing that. They want to work in your prisons in Yoruba land. They want to do the jobs in your immigration in Yoruba land. They take all the federal government agencies, military ministries and department jobs in Yoruba land. Why you go abroad to wash toilets? You see these people, Igbo and Fulani just want to suppress Yoruba. There is no contest about it. This is what I said that we are going to argue in court. There will be war in Nigeria. Like the doctor that was speaking to me today, saying that everything you're talking about is in defense of self-defense. You don't want the destruction of your homeland. We all desire that. And they saw the letter I wrote to President Trump, asking for special envoys for Yoruba to avoid war. These are simple things that we need to do. Said to Nnamdi Kanu that all the custom jobs in Igbo land, all the immigration jobs in Igbo land, all the prison jobs in Igbo land, all the civil defense job in Igbo land, all the security services jobs in Igbo land, all the port authority jobs in Igbo land, all the airport authority jobs in Igbo land, all the EFCC jobs in Igbo land, all federal government jobs in Igbo land. Say to Nnamdi Kanu that he should accept that only Igbo people should work there. And the same thing should be done in Yoruba land. The same thing should be done in Hausa Fulani land. Nnamdi Kanu that is shouting of Biafra today will reject that. He will say no, that the Igbo can work in Yoruba custom, that the Igbo can work in the Yoruba immigration, that the Igbo can work in the Yoruba port authority, that the Igbo can work in the Yoruba airport authority, that the Igbo can work in the Yoruba civil defense, that the Igbo can work in Nigeria. He will conclude it because we are one Nigeria. God Almighty did not create us one. So all these guys are targeting you, Yoruba, for destruction. And if we continue to ignore this, we will grow old and die. Then our children will face the same predicament. Our generation must end this. Another thing that the Yoruba nation do not wish to continue is this monthly allocation. It is only in Nigeria that the federal government gives money to the federating unit every month. They give you monthly allocation, security, vote, and constituency allowance. They don't do that in United Kingdom. They don't do that in India. They don't do that in Canada. They don't do that in Australia. They don't do that in America. They don't do that in China. They don't do that in South Africa. They don't do that in Ghana. They don't do that in Togo. They don't do that in any country except Nigeria because of the innate desire of the Fulani and the Igbo to continue to use the Yoruba wealth to build their own respective space. They don't do this anywhere, folks. Let us be realistic. Let us stop the unitary system. Let us go back to Reisman formula, in which the money generated, you'll see it in the constitution by the time we're back on that. You will see it in the constitution of Yoruba land, that we don't do monthly allocation under regional government. The Yoruba control all their tax revenue in Yoruba land and give agreed percentage to the federal government. Not the other way around, that the federal government will control all the revenue in Yoruba land and give stipends to Yoruba land. No. Let us go back to Riceman formula. 60% of the revenue in Yoruba land for Yoruba people. Take 20% of the revenue to Abuja. The remaining 20% will put it in the regional account and share it across the region in Nigeria. That is the beauty of regional government. Igbo don't want this. Hausa don't want this. Igbo want all the money in Yoruba land to go to Abuja. All the money in Igbo land to go to Abuja. All the money in Hausa land to go to Abuja and everywhere. You know these guys. I don't have to repeat this all the time. That is the desire of the Igbo and Hausa Fulani because they are using your word, Yoruba, to fund their own lifestyle. This is a sufficient reason to break up Nigeria. But because we are black people, we are greedy people, we are stupid people, we are useless people, we don't believe in justice, we believe in injustice. Yet we call on Jesus Christ every day and night, and a Jewish citizen that was introduced to us. We call on Muhammad every day and night, a Saudi Arabian citizen who was killing people across the world, across his country when he was alive, in what he called jihadists. We pray to these guys who are not even related to us by anything. Yet we are evil-minded people. We are evil-minded. We have never stand for justice. How can you be taking revenue from Yoruba land, you move it to Abuja? You take revenue from Igbo land, you move it to Abuja. You take revenue from Hausa land, you move it to Abuja. You then share it back to where you collected it, according to number of local government, number of state, number of land mass population. Is that justice? Yet you pray to Jesus Christ. A lot of you Yoruba, Igbo and Hausa Fulani, if there is heaven, you will go to hell. Because if you are not just, you will never be happy in your life. That's why I've been arrested 8 times. I've not been convicted on anything. And I'm going to win this new case as well. You have to be just in what you do. You guys are not honest people. You guys spend considerable time, energy, and money going to church, going to mosque, but simple justice you cannot give. You will go to hell if there is any place like that. But the beauty of this is that the Yoruba nation desire the end of this monetary allocation. They don't want it because it is destroying their civilization. Their money that they should use for healthcare, education, housing, security of lives and property, and others. This money goes to Abuja to fund the lifestyle of the Igbo. That's why we're suffering. All of these things, the Yoruba liberals that are shouting Oduduwa Republic, they have no clue. They have no clue. You understand? They have no clue. The number 7 thing that the Yoruba nation is said, somebody is asking me, a beautiful woman is asking me to drink water. Let me just drink water, please. The 7th desire of the Yoruba nation is the decentralization of the judiciary. Yeah. The Yoruba should have their own lower court, magistrate court, high court, appeal court, and supreme court. Likewise, the Igbo, Fulani, and the same thing. So we all have one court that binds us together called the Constitutional Court at Abuja that will interpret the Constitution. This is what every Yoruba would desire. Even the liberal Yoruba, the conservative Yoruba, we want all of these things that I'm mentioning. They will desire it. You get me? Said to the Igbo, you control your courts. They will say, no, we are one Nigeria. They want to be judges in Yoruba court so that they can put your children in prison. Let us be realistic. If I were to be a judge and you brought before me a teenage Yoruba citizen who has stolen sweet from a supermarket, I would never send such a child to prison. I would just give him first warning. He will be free from my court. But put a Fulani judge in Yoruba land and bring before him a Yoruba teenager who has stolen sweet from the supermarket, he might end up in prison because the judge is not Yoruba. He doesn't care if he destroys you. Look at the United Kingdom, particularly in England. The English police have always arrested so many black people because they are not English and they send them to prison. We're watching the news just now before I come live. A black man who has a mental health problem was shot and killed by the police in England many months ago. So they are doing his inquest. Now, my girlfriend was now telling me that, look, I have never come across police killing white people in this country. That is the truth. They won't kill white people. We have to speak the truth. But I've seen considerable number of time police in England killing black people because they are black. That is the truth. So you're telling me that the Igbo police don't kill Yoruba people? They kill Yoruba people like chicken. Hausa Fulani police working in Yoruba and they kill Yoruba people like chicken. So some of you will say, oh, the English police are racist. It's all bullshit. We are all practicing self-preservation. The Igbo police are killing Yoruba citizens in Yoruba land. The Hausa police are killing Yoruba citizens in Yoruba land. The Hausa Fulani judges will are sending Yoruba people to prisons in Yoruba land. Why should they be in charge of our prison? Let us be honest for once. If we decentralize the courts in Nigeria, it will bring about development. Igbo don't want the court to be decentralized. They want to be judges in Yoruba court so that they can use their hatred for us to send our children to prison, to send our people to prison. That's why they said Federal High Court. We don't need that bullshit any longer. All the courts in Yoruba land must be under the command and control of the Yoruba people only, up to the Supreme Court. The only thing that should bind us together when it comes to court in Nigeria must be the constitutional court that must interpret the constitution. You say that to the Fulani, let us decentralize the court. You put your Hausa Fulani judges only in your court. They will say no, one Nigeria. They are the judges in our court in Yoruba land. They are sending your family, your friends, your relatives to prison. That's what they're doing. I will say it again because I'm reading your messages, Igbo. You are the problem of the Yoruba nation. You destroy Nigeria. You will never rule. The number 8 thing that the Yoruba nation desire is to limit the power of the presidency as much as possible. The Igbo don't want that. They want the president, just one man, to provide you with health care, to provide you with electricity, to provide you with road, to give you food, to give you housing, to control your police, to control your military, to control your custom, to control your prison, to control your life. That is the desire of the Igbo. That is not the system in America. It is the same desire of the Hausa Fulani for the president to control everything about our life. That is not the system in any society. The Yoruba nation desire that we limit the power of the presidency of Nigeria to few functions: printing of money, regulation of trade between regions in Nigeria, as well as international trade, conduct foreign policy, provide an army and navy, not to control an army. The federal government will provide an army if we are going to fight war with our neighboring country. The federal government will ask the Yoruba military, the Igbo military, the Hausa Fulani military to go and confront the Cameroonian military if we're going to fight war with Cameroon. So the federal government will provide an army, will not control the army. It will establish post offices because we are going to be practicing regional government. So when we send letter from one region to another, federal government will facilitate that. They will control immigration and make law necessary and proper to carry out this function. We limit the function of the federal government to 7 basic functions. You tell that to the Igbo, they don't want that. They always desire one. It's the same innate horrible desire. Agui Rossi centralized Nigeria thinking that Igbo will be president forever. Up to this present moment, Igbo people still believe that one day they will control the presidency of Nigeria. That's why they don't want the unity system to end, so that they have that power to destroy your life. Let us limit the power of the presidency in Nigeria. You will see how great it will be as a country. And number 9, let us devolve power to the regions. Issue of license, give it to the region. Stop giving it to the federal government. Business registration, vehicle registration, all issues related to licenses, give it to the regions. So Igbo, register the vehicles in your own region. Let them pay that money to your region. Register businesses in your region. Let them pay the money for the registration of businesses to your region. Stop saying that Corporate Affairs Commission at Abuja be registering all businesses in Nigeria. We will never be one. All issues of licenses devolve the power to the regions. Trade within the region, devolve the power to it. So if you must sell water in Yoruba land, you must get the licenses from our region. If you have the licenses to sell water in Yoruba land, your licenses cannot be viable in Igbo region. If you must sell water in Igbo region, you must obtain license in Igbo region to do that. Devolve this power to regulate trade within the region to the region. Devolve power to conduct election back to the region. We've seen it in the first 2 or 4 days that we've done in interpretation of the Constitution of Western Nigeria. Elections in Yoruba land, in Western region. Election in Yoruba land are conducted by Yoruba people. So we are now asking that this power be devolved back to the region. It is the federal government that is conducting an election now, which is bullshit. It is what the Igbo want. It is what the Hausa Fulani want. They just want unity system to suppress you, the Yoruba. We're saying devolve the power to establish local government back to the regions. We saw it in the interpretation of the Constitution of Western Nigeria that it is the Yoruba people who create their own local government. Now, it is the federal government that is doing that. The Igbo took away all the powers of the regions and put them in the hands of the federal government. We are now saying that we want this power back. You think the Igbo want the same thing? No. The Hausa Fulani don't want all these things that we say. We want the power to maintain law and order devolve back to the region. When we say maintain law and order, we're talking about court, we're talking about police, we're talking about military. Provide health and social service, you give that power to the regions. You give power for housing to the region. Why should we be asking federal government to give us houses across Nigeria? It doesn't make sense. Devolve the power to the region. Each region provide for your own housing. Don't expect the federal government to provide housing for you. The control of agriculture, forestry, and fisheries, devolve it back to the region. It is federal government that are getting involved in this nonsense. Look at the Yoruba waterways. People are coming to our waterways, to our shoreline, doing heavy fishing, stealing our fishes. People are coming from all across European countries. We should have that power to issue the licenses to any companies that will fish in our waterway. We cannot even manage our own fishes in our own waterways because federal government is in charge of agriculture, forestry, and fisheries. Federal government is controlling education and training. Fulani don't like education. They like Halimajiri education. let them run their own educational system. Igbo like trading. Let them run a trading kind of educational system. We Yoruba, we appreciate qualitative education. Let us run our own educational system independent of others. But the Igbo don't want that, folks. Fulani don't want that. If we were to be white, Nigeria would not have succeeded. Nigeria would not have succeeded this long, rather. If we were to be white people, Nigeria would have since divided along its natural boundaries. Nigeria is held up together by the English, using the minority Fulani with guns to suppress the Yoruba majority. That's why Nigeria is still a going concern till today. We devolve power for the environment. We should be able to manage our own environment. We should be able to tell people as Yoruba people that we don't want gas or diesel cars. We want electric cars. We should be able to run our own environment. Igbo, if you want to die with diesel cars for the rest of your life, it is your problem. Run your own environment. Devolve the power to manage our environment to the regions. You will see how high blood pressure will go down, kidney diseases will go down in Yoruba land, and all manners of other medical issues. If we control our own environment, we will plant trees all across the place. We want to do this. But the Igbo don't want that to happen. They want the federal government to control the environment. The Hausa Fulani want the federal government to continue to control the environment. Land use planning. They took away our land. Obasanjo took away our land, took away everything from us, devolved that power back to the region. Sports and art, devolve the power back to the region. We want to have the Yoruba football teams. Let us have our own sport. We want to have Yoruba playing at FIFA competition. Igbo, have your own football team as well. Hausa Fulani, have your own football team. Devolve power. That is what is obtainable in multicultural, multi-ethnic nation. You say to the Igbo, now they say, no, now want Nigeria. They want Nigeria football team. Fulani want Nigerian football team. We Yoruba youth, we are proud. We want to have sport devolve. We want to go to the Olympic. We want to go to Commonwealth competition as Yoruba nation. We want to go to FIFA World Cup as Yoruba nation. We can be in one Nigeria, but with different regions. Running our own show differently. Tension will come down. Everybody will be competing with each other. If the Yoruba football team reaches FIFA final, the Igbo will want to do the same thing to show off to their people that they are capable. When there is competition between us, there will be greatness of Nigeria. But they don't want that. They want one ridiculous, useless, stupid, black set of people claiming that they are one, created by the English. And yet they will say that the white people are not superior to them. They want to have the identity created for them by the English. They say Black Lives Matters. Why don't you do your own differently as human being with common sense? You hate on white people, but everything they've created for you, you hold it there. You use Christianity to condemn the Orisha, yet white people brought Christianity to you. You use Islam to condemn the Orisha, yet the Arab brought Islam to you. Everything that is foreign, you hold it there and you claim that Black Lives Matters. You said that the English police are killing black people. Have you ever grown your own economy so that your own people can stay in your country? You think if we have been practicing regional government, we've continued with the practice of regional government, I might never have been arrested for one day in my life, but the English police arrested me 8 times because I live in their country. They believe that I have no alternative to their country. It is because of the unitary system. Let us devolve taxation. We should be able to control our income tax, our education tax. Awolowo came up with this concept of education tax to fund education. Why is it so difficult for Hausa Fulani to tax companies in Hausa Fulani to pay for education tax to fund their own education? Igbo, do the same thing in your region. Yoruba, we do the same thing and tax every businesses in Yoruba land to pay 2% of their profit as education tax so that we can give free education to the people. But Igbo don't want this. They just want everything to be controlled by the federal government. So these are some of the issues that you have in Nigeria. These 9 fundamentals are the desire of the Yoruba nation. That's what we want to do. Majority of the Yoruba liberals shouting Oduduwa Republic now, they are in England. They live across European countries where multi-ethnic countries are broken up because of the domination of one of the ethnic groups of another. Yes, that's what is going on. Czechoslovakia was made up of Czech Republic and Slovenia. They were one country before, but they divided. All these liberals that are in England who sit in front of their Facebook and talk nonsense. They live in Europe. Ethnic groups in Europe are given their own space. Go to France, they are practicing regional government, even though they even speak one language. They are practicing regional government. Yugoslavia is not even up to the population of Lagos or the same as Lagos State. It divided into 6 countries because of ethnicity. USSR divided into 15 countries. There are 2 best examples of how we can manage multi-ethnic country like Nigeria. We have 2 major examples in the European Union. The United Kingdom and Switzerland. These 2 countries are good example of how you can manage a country like Nigeria. The United Kingdom devolved power to the Irish, to the Welsh, to the Scottish, and to the English regions. They are practicing regional government. Everything is devolved in United Kingdom, including sport, including currency. When they want to go to FIFA World Cup, they don't go to the FIFA World Cup as United Kingdom football team. They go there as England football team, Scotland football team, Wales football team, and Northern Ireland football team. They have devolution of power in sport. They have currency design that are different. The currency in Scotland is different from the design in England, yet it is £1 but different design. They don't have the same police force. They don't have the same military divisions. They don't have the same educational system. During this coronavirus, the school in Scotland reopened before the school in England. In Scotland, schools are free from primary school up to university. It is not in England. Schools are only free from primary school to secondary school. If you must go to university, you must get student loan and you pay for it. It is not free. Everything is different, yet they are one country called the Great Britain, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. So if we must look up to a country that we must fashion Nigeria along, it is United Kingdom, not the United States of America. Because the United States of America is the land of immigrants. Nigeria is not a land of immigrants, it's land of indigenous people. Yoruba people, Igbo people, Hausa people, Fulani people, Kanuri people, Ijaw people. You cannot divide Ijaw into states. You cannot divide Yoruba into states. You must have Yoruba as a block, but within that block, you can have divisions. Administrative division, but they must speak together with one leader, their premier. It is the same system in the United Kingdom. Look at Switzerland. Switzerland has 4 ethnic groups. Each of them rotate the presidency in that country through 7 regions. The 4 ethnic groups in Switzerland rotate the presidency of that country annually, every year. So this one will be president, next year it will be this. They have premiers in their regions. Why must you be using presidential system in a multi-ethnic country like Nigeria? Because of the Fulani and the Igbo who wish to suppress and subjugate the Yoruba people. That is the only reason. There's no justification whatsoever. Why is it that the people in Switzerland who have white skin, but 4 ethnic groups, why are they not saying they are one? Why is it that in the United Kingdom, the English, the Scottish, the Welsh, and the Irish are not saying that they are one? They are saying that they are 4. Why must you shout every now and then and shout one Nigeria, one Nigeria, one Nigeria? It is because you want to enslave the Yoruba people. Yoruba people, think about this. If you go to Igbo land, it is predominantly 100% Igbo people there. The jobs there are 100% for Igbo people. But they want one Nigeria in Yoruba land so that they can have the same right and privileges as us in Yoruba land. You go to Hausa Fulani land, you don't see the Yoruba controlling their jobs, controlling their land, controlling anything in their space. Yet these people want to control and compete with Yoruba in Yoruba land. They destroy this nation. Look at Canada. Canada has 7 provinces. Out of these 7 provinces, only 1 is French speaking. The other are English speaking. Yet, Canada runs regional system of government. Why is it so difficult for us to have regional system of government back in Nigeria? It is because of the wealth of the Yoruba that the Hausa Fulani and the Igbo want to control. There will be war in Nigeria. This is part of my conclusion when I was planning my case with my lawyer this morning. And that is what I'm going to go to court to say to the judges and to the judge and to the jury. There will be war in Nigeria because of the greediness of the Igbo and Hausa Fulani and their wickedness. So we cannot condemn black people. We must use Yoruba as a very good example of how black people should behave. Justice at all times. This is one thing the Yoruba desire. We do not wish to appropriate anybody's wealth. We do not wish to appropriate anybody's land. But the Igbo and Fulani, they have this innate desire to take what does not belong to them. They are not good example of how black people should behave. Black people across the world should accord great respect for the Yoruba people anywhere in Africa. Because we are the great example of how a society be governed. We have always been asking for justice in Nigeria. It is unfortunate that we have been grouped with terrible, horrible nations like the Igbo and Hausa Fulani who are bringing that country down. What we use as a movement is human capital, our brain power. And we've used this to shape the Yoruba nation. As an extension, even Nigeria. We should be proud of ourselves. And we must do one thing, folks. We must take the presidency of Nigeria from 2023. Otherwise, there will be war in that country. We have had enough of the suppression and subjugation of the Yoruba people. Thank you very much, folks. I'm going to see you tomorrow. So we continue with our campaign. Cheers, guys. Bye. So, guys, watching me from Facebook, thank you.